Estimate at this location. Also breaking, investigators looking into a garage fire, this one in North Fargo. It happened around 8 last night in the 800 block of 12th Street North. Stay with Valley News Live for any updates.
And new this morning, the parents of Maddie Kingsbury, who have been caring for her 2 children since her March 31st disappearance, are now asking a judge to immediately suspend any and all contact between the children and Adam Fravel, who has been charged in their daughter's murder. The Kingsburys say there is every reason to believe that he would run off with the children if given the chance.
Fravel is the biological father of the 2 young children, but he and Maddie were never married. So when Maddie disappeared, the county took the children from him because he had no custodial rights. And the county says they believed them to be in harm's way. Security tight around the federal courthouse in Miami this morning. That's where former President Donald Trump will be arraigned on criminal charges. The indictment handed out Friday contains more than 3 dozen charges. It accuses Trump of illegally retaining classified documents after his single term in the White House and obstructing efforts to retrieve them.
Prosecutors say that some of the documents concern U.S. nuclear weapons programs and contain details about military activity and capabilities of both the U.S. and foreign countries. Trump's appearance in Miami will mark his 2nd time since April facing a judge, and he says he will plead not guilty and stay in the presidential race even if he's convicted.
Time now for a look at our storm team forecast as we send things over to meteorologist Lisa Green. Good morning.
Good morning. Today we're looking at conditions that are going to be sunny but hazy. We've got that going on right now in Fargo. You can see that sun is up. It's bright, but still being filtered out by some of that wildfire smoke that is aloft here this morning. And conditions, well, they're pretty nice outside. We're at 58 degrees right now in Fargo. Wind is light out of the west at only 5 miles per hour. And our air quality at the surface is still okay. We're either in the good category to moderate category, that green or yellow category this morning. It's later tonight and into Wednesday that some of that smoke may work its way down to the surface, and we'll be watching for that. In Grand Forks, similar situation. We've got that sun shining here as we're looking from the East Grand Forks side of the Red River, and you can see we're at 54 degrees in Grand Forks. Wind westerly again and light at 6 miles per hour. So around the valley, conditions are looking and feeling pretty good. We've got clear skies aside from the smoke that's affecting us aloft, and conditions that should end up being on the toasty side yet again today. We're looking at most places rising back into the 80s for your high. We'll see a high of 86 degrees in Fargo, and wind that's still out of the north and still not too strong. About 5 to 15 miles per hour. A couple of gusts may get to about 20 miles per hour. I mentioned we may see some of that smoke work its way to the surface. There's a cold front that's going to be dipping in later tonight, and that will help that smoke aloft to make its way downward. In addition to that, there could be a few sprinkles, a few showers up along the international border today, but most of us just experiencing that sunny haze. Tomorrow, more hazy conditions and back to 90 degrees for your Wednesday. More chances for reaching 90 as you see in your 11-day planner here as we work our way through the week. Rain returns coming up later Thursday.
Okay, and we could really use that rain, getting a little crispy out there, Lisa.
Yeah, we sure could, and this would be a little more widespread aside from last week. It was scattered hit and miss thunderstorms. This would be more covering most of the valley, so that's the good news there.
It sure is. Okay, thank you.
A 19-year-old could spend at least 10 years in prison for her part in a deadly Moorhead taxi robbery. It was 2 years ago. Christy Vo now pleading guilty to aiding and abetting in second-degree murder. Prosecutors allege she helped her then-boyfriend, 20-year-old Willie Sparkman Jr., lure taxi cab driver Abdullahi Mohammed Abdullahi into a Moorhead apartment complex in order to rob him for rent money.
Sparkman admitted to shooting and killing Abdullahi before leaving in a car driven by Vo. Sparkman is serving a 12.5-year sentence for second-degree murder. Vo will be sentenced in August. 2 women are facing charges after a reported robbery and assault in downtown Fargo last Tuesday. Molly Fox and Lynette Perez have been initially charged, but police say more charges are possible.
Media outlets now reporting that a 15-year-old girl and 16-year-old boy were walking near the railroad tracks downtown when they were approached by a group of 5 to 6 people. They were hit in the face, threatened with a knife, and then they had their phones stolen. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum on a mission to build name recognition across the country, now about his presidential run. He bought $2.4 million worth in TV spots to run in Iowa and New Hampshire, the first 2 primary voting states, where he reiterated his pro-business philosophy.
Why run? First, fix this crazy economy. Second, unleash American energy production. Third, rebuild our military to win the Cold War with China. I'm Doug Burgum. I approve this message.
Burgum just spent the last 4 days touring Iowa and New Hampshire. In a recent CBS News poll, 1% of likely Republican primary voters said Burgum was their first choice. He needs to register at least 1% in 3 separate national polls to qualify for the first debate, which is August 23rd in Milwaukee. A federal trial is underway in Fargo involving 2 North Dakota tribes and former North Dakota Secretary of State Al Jaeger. The Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa and Spirit Lake Reservation claimed that new legislative districts infringe upon Native voting rights.
In November of 2021, Governor Doug Burgum signed a bill to redraw district lines that reflected changes from the 2020 census. District 9, where Turtle Mountain is located, was then cut into 2 sub-districts. Now the tribes say that move diluted Native people's voting strength and that the new districts violate the Voting Rights Act. In our consumer alert this morning, Kia now recalling some of its 2023 model year Sportage vehicles because of a problem with the braking system. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration says the brake booster diaphragm may become misaligned and then leak.
If that happens, it can result in a loss of power. Owners should get in touch with their local dealers who will then inspect and change that part if necessary. Summertime is when most of us like to head to lakes country, but often we have to be aware of the possibility that we could get swimmer's itch after you take a dip.
The Valley Today's Nishay Taylor joining us live in Barnesville this morning with more on how to keep you and your family safe. Good morning, Nishay.
Good morning, Jordan and Ashlyn. Yes, swimmer's itch is an allergic reaction caused by a parasite that's often found in area lakes. Now, that parasite is passed through the feces of geese, dogs, and even raccoons. Now, once it hits the water, that parasite then looks for a particular snail to continue its breeding process. Now, experts say parasites are often found in shallow waters, making children the most common to get swimmer's itch. The allergic reaction can cause a rash and bumps, and here's how they say you can treat it.
You can get over-the-counter steroid cream, cold compresses work well, Epsom salt bath works well. Also, something you can do is like baking soda, mix it with water to form a paste, and you can apply it to those areas.
Yeah, they also say once you get out of the water, make sure you towel off real good almost immediately. And if you have time to get a shower, do so as soon as possible. Now, they also say if you know an area lake is common to get swimmer's itch or they have swimmer's itch at that moment, they say avoid it as much as possible. Reporting live in Barnesville, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
I know we're all looking forward to some beach time, but some incredibly important information this morning. Nishay, again, reporting live in Barnesville. Thank you. Well, listen to this. The FM Metro has another representative going on a national quiz show.
Who is NDSU English professor Holly Hassel? She will compete this week on Jeopardy! Now, you can turn in tomorrow night. That's on KX4, CBS station at 5 o'clock to see how she does. The Minnesota State Fair says leave your weed at home if you're heading to the Great Minnesota Get-Together this summer.
Even though it will be legal in the state by the time the fair rolls around, the law does not allow for pot to be smoked in public places, which rules out the state fair altogether. And for now, the sale of products containing THC and CBD will not be prohibited. Thousands of Nuggets fans spilled onto the streets after Denver won Game 5 of the NBA Finals against the Heat 94-89. Check that out. Wow. This was last night, and it is the first ever NBA championship for the team.
Big deal for them. Championship level excitement had been building since the Nuggets won the Western Conference Finals with a sweep against the Lakers. Now the city of Denver says it will host a downtown parade on Thursday. Congratulations to them and all the fans as well. We were both so excited about that. But the Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start.
Thank you all so much for waking up and joining us on your Tuesday. Have a great week.